Hey, everybody. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. Happy therapy day. happy. Thanks everybody for being here today. If you're new to the channel, I just want to thank you for checking us out. And I say us as we create a community here. And I want you to know that we have an awesome group of people that show up every Wednesday. We love dialogue here. We love to have conversation. We talk about a lot of things that aren't necessarily considered okay to talk about, but that's the whole point of this channel, and really creating a unity from worldwide. So also, if you're new here, and hey everybody, it's great to see everybody. Thanks for showing up today. I also want to let you know that if you're new here, that I love to do shout outs so you can actually see where we have everybody coming from all over the world. Also, please say hi to Anne and Lisa. They are our moderators, and they're really awesome, and they've been doing such a great job. Thank you to so much for being here and really stepping up and helping this channel grow, and also really keeping the crazy people out. So as you notice, we don't really have so many. They try to sneak in under the radar, but we always catch them all. So I'm going to back up here a little bit because I see you're all going at it and I'm just talking away. So I'm going to back up to wherever I can see the first one. And if I miss you, please put your where you're from, and then we'll get on. We got a really great conversation going to happen today. So I got Germany in the house. Right on. Okay, let's see. Germany, Montreal, Berlin is in the house. Germany's in the house again. Wow, we have a lot of Germany. Scotland's in the house. Massachusetts is in the house. Vancouver's in the house. Phoenix in the house. South Africa's in the house. Maine, Birmingham, Alabama, Denver, England, Hamburg. We got a lot of Germany today. Victoria, BC's in the house. More Canada, Nova Scotia, Idaho. Right on, Idaho. It's where my sister lives. I love to say that. Virginia, Germany, more Germany, Belgium in the house. I don't know if it's the same one or we just have a lot of Germany here. It's so awesome. New Jersey's in the house, and we love you too, New Jersey. North Carolina, Adelaide, Australia. And if you haven't seen my sculpture, it's in the museum there. Please do. Floundering, UK, we got in that. Buffalo, Illinois, Indianapolis, Germany, Seattle, Idaho, South Wales, South Carolina, New York, Utah, West Virginia, Myrtle Beach. You guys are killing me today. Wisconsin, we got Australia in the house, North Carolina, Bosnia's in the house, Arizona, Gastonia, North Carolina, Portugal's in the house, Michigan, and New Mexico, Bergen County, New Jersey, Yuba County, California, Santa Fe, New Mexico, BC, Canada, Nebo, North Carolina. Vicky's in the house. West Virginia, yay, where my mom's from. Texas, Washington State, Nebraska, SoCal, Portland. Wow, guys, this is so great. Oregon, Italy, Pennsylvania. We got Kimberly, who's an 11-month member. Thank you for that so much. We got Washington, Federal Way, Washington, Missouri, Massachusetts. I hope I said it right. We got California transplant from Wisconsin, Fort Worth, New Zealand, Cody, Oregon. Wow, you guys, it's so amazing. Honestly, Colorado Springs. It's just really, it grows every week. When we come back, we always have somebody new, and a lot of new people from Europe, which is really, I think that's the first time I've seen Bosnia in the house, but I'm not sure. Maybe we have Dallas, Texas. I know it's just really incredible to me that the support you guys give this channel. And I really do believe building this sort of space every Wednesday where I honestly, I don't know about you guys, but I actually look forward to hanging out with you. I look forward to these great conversations. Oh, thanks for gifting 5 memberships. That's really amazing and awesome. And we have such really giving people here. You know, Larissa, thank you. That really is so awesome. And Lisa and Anne really just stepping up to be the moderators have, I think, just really made the channel just much more solid, if that makes sense. You all know that I've been sort of targeted, I think, from YouTube. Thanks for the love. I appreciate it. You know, I have. There's no doubt that I haven't been. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not. I don't like to feel like a victim, and I don't feel like a victim. That's not what I'm trying to say here. But what I'm trying to say here is that, you know, there's a reason why you get targeted. There's a reason why platforms, I've been shadow banned from Instagram and Facebook for over 5 years. We know it's the people that are working there. It's not necessarily the community standards. They have actual people working in these platforms who will just watch what's going on. And I mean, almost every live, let's see, for the past month I've had to fight them on. It gets immediately demonetized the minute I say goodbye to you after an hour. It immediately gets demonetized. The last live I did with Miss Lister's sister, did you all get to watch that? I hope you got to watch it. And if you didn't get to watch it, I hope that you take a chance, a minute to at least watch it. The conversation is brilliant. I feel very, very happy that I had her on the show. And I believe she has such amazing, articulate, really deep, really profound things that I think a lot of people want to say, but maybe we don't know how to say it, including myself. But the way she says it is so great. So if you haven't had a chance to watch Miss Lister's sister, the last live, I think this is 156. This might be 157, 156. Is this 157? Yeah. So watch it, because I'm not kidding. I think you will all get a lot out of it. No matter where you stand, you'll get to see what she said and how we're all trying to figure it out. Like, how are we in this position? How are we letting children think Buckeye Jaw got redirected when I clicked your live? See, you see that? Butterfly just, hold on, I'm going to just bring that up for 1 minute. Butterfly, Buck Angel, I got redirected when I clicked on your live. I had to go back and click again. That's what I'm saying. So many people are telling me that they're getting unsubscribed from my channel, just unsubscribed from it. Or one person wrote me the other day and they said that they wanted to bring to my attention that every time that they were making a comment on my channel, that it would be deleted, or else they were being they were getting, I don't know what happens when they stop you from being able to, so you're getting like suspended or something. They kept getting suspended for commenting on my stuff, and I'm just like, what? It's so obvious. There's not a glitch. It's not a glitch. I'm literally being targeted. There's no doubt about it. And so thank you, Ava. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, friend. I do appreciate that a lot. You know, you guys really help me keep the channel going. It's true. You know, like I say it all the time. I don't care if I get demonetized. It helps me. I'm not going to lie. The money helps to create these things, helps me create the reaction videos, helps me to create the studio. You all know that. It takes money to create things, but I'm not going to make it the end all be all for me. I'm not going to be bullied into stopping what I'm doing because I'm not making the money, you know, but I will also be honest with you that it does help. It creates business for me, which also creates a way for me to make these videos. So that's why it is important that when you all show up, whatever that means to you, it actually helps this channel grow. And we're almost at 170,000 subscribers. That is incredible to me, that we made 170,000 subscribers. That's no joke. And so what I hear is when you reach 200, that's when they really start to sort of push your voice in here. They sort of make you work to get this. But before I move forward, I want to let you know that I have a sponsor today, and it's me. I'm sponsoring my own video today. And what I'm doing is I'm sponsoring it with a couple of my products, which you can use the code BuckAngel, okay, at BuckAngel, and then go to buckangel.com, put in BuckAngel on any products you buy from my store. You'll get 10% off, okay? So one of the things, I don't know if you know that I make my own beard oil. So, I just love having a beard. One of the things I really actually, really like aspired to was getting a beard. It makes me feel like a man, whatever that means, right? But really having a beard. And so I really wanted to create products that are useful, and not trans products, but just for everyone. I did initially create this for the trans community, but when the trans community came after me, I was just like, I'm not gonna do that anymore. So the name of my products are called tea, like tea oil. Okay, this is I think you'll love it. So it's on buckangel.com, and it's really an awesome product. I use it daily. It moisturizes. What happens, I think, also when you get older, you get this weird thing that happens, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Hi, Buck, got a fraud alert last live, but that might be because I was going gung-ho on the super. Oh, wow. Yeah, maybe. But thanks for saying that, friend. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Pepper. So I started getting really dry skin. It was really weird when I grew this beard. And then, those white flakes that get on you, it's actually gross and embarrassing. It's actually embarrassing, like old man dandruff from my beard. So this actually moisturizes my skin, and then I don't have that yuckiness anymore. Old men, growing old is also a whole other and a whole other thing. But growing old as a woman and growing old as a man, and I'm getting both of these things. That's the funny part, right? Because I'm sort of like a man. I'm sort of like a man woman. So I'm growing old in both ways. I'm getting things that women get, and I'm getting things that men get. It's quite hilarious if you think about it. So for me, it's funny. I'm getting hit by all angles. So use Buck Angel for the code for 10% off. I also just want to show you this real quick here. It's the tea wash, and I already had a couple of people buy it and send me beautiful, awesome responses to it, that they love it so much. It's an all natural soap. You'll love it. It's mostly for genitals because, as you know, or if you don't know, females should not be using soap down there. It's very bad. You should be using any kind of product that's not like harsh soaps. So this is like a big seller, and it has a really awesome smell to it. But anyway, I want to get on it. I just want I'm sponsoring my own. I'm sponsoring my own show today. So use Buck Angel at checkout at buckangel.com. So let's move forward. I just want to say that it's so funny to me how when you go against a community of people that you once felt attached to, how they get so angry at you and they get so mad. Thanks, Jay. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. They get so mad at me and they call me so many names, right? Yeah, no soap on the woo-woo. They call me so many names and they're just so immature. And then they go after my age. That's the one thing people love to go after, is my age, that I'm too old now and that I need to sit down and I need to retire. I wanted to put this out there because I think it's quite funny as you get older, and then you really do get to see the ageism that's out there and how people all of a sudden, my whole beard is gray. Doesn't that look gray right now? That's actually gray hair. And also I don't have any hair, but one of the things I think is so funny is these mixed messages that the transgender community continually gives. They love to give mixed messages. So I'm an old 62-year-old person. I don't feel old, but 62 is kind of getting there. Let's just be honest. It is. I have no issues with it. In fact, I'm happier probably now at 62 than I think I ever was in my whole life. And I think to get to 62 is an accomplishment. So the trans community is always talking about the fact that they're being offed, or people are out to get them, and that there's not they're not growing old because they're getting offed, which is all a bunch of nonsense, and it's not true. And here I sit as 62 years old as a transsexual person, yet they continue to push against me and talk about my age as a bad thing and try to discredit my age and try to discredit me and try to say like I'm too old to be sitting here saying these things, or I'm too old and I need to retire. So the hypocrisy that continues to mount in that space where they don't want to have a conversation with me. And why do you think that they don't want to have a conversation with an actual elder of a community that might have a different opinion, that doesn't agree with everything that's going on there? Clearly, I agree with transitioning, but I agree with it in a different way than they do. But why would you retire from what? Right, real life, I guess, dude. Retire from what? Exactly. Great question. So, hey, the weirdos, nice to see you. Okay, hi, friend. I love your videos. Second thing is, did anyone else find Buck off Blair White, like the one video where they reached to woke TikToks? No, I didn't. I don't really know. But here, thank you for that. What is happening? Why would they not want? Oh, great. Thanks, Judy, for becoming a new member. Thank you. This is what helps this channel grow. Why would they not want to have a conversation? You found me by accident, Nick. You'll never be the same. Just so you know, my friend, finding me by accident is awesome. That's one of my favorite. When people say that, I'm like, oh, you'll never be the same now. No going back, dude. Well, I mean, yeah, maybe because I'll tell the dark secrets, but if they were really a solid community of people, like, let me explain this to you, okay? 74, excellent, Rosalind, excellent. 74, gosh, I hope I make it to 74. I really do. I actually love being old. I love it. I love it more than anything, honestly. Way to go. Let's right on. Happy birthday. That's an accomplishment, 74. It really is. So, what I want to say is that I believe that there is so much dishonesty going on in that trans community space, and so much grifting, and so much, on some level, evilness, and so much stuff that just doesn't align with me, that I think you said it, that they're just scared of me. "Oh, right, and, well, we're gonna celebrate your birthday when it comes up. Let's make sure we know that." I do. I really believe there's evilness in there, and that's why they try to shut me down, because I want to be honest with you. Okay. I want to have a conversation with you. I don't 70. What? What do we have? A bunch of oldie people here. This is so awesome. Because they say things they don't want to hear. No, that's 100% true. But why? Why don't they want to hear it? Where'd you go? Where did you just say you're 70? I want to see that. Yes, Aspasia. 70. Awesome. Wow, this is so great. The ageist comments freak me out, because they're saying one thing where, the elders are important in the trans community, and all the only elders that they seem to really 60, the only elders that they seem to really want to, on some level, prioritize are the Black trans women elders. Do you notice that? It's only about the Black trans. Now, not to discredit Black trans women in any way, shape, or form. I have Black trans women friends. Who cares, right? But it seems like there's only conversation around the Black trans women, right, elders, or the Black trans women activists, or the Black trans women made everything happen, which is not true. It's literally not true. It's a total lie. That is not true. Black trans women were not at Stonewall. Total lie. We all know it. They're completely trying to rewrite our history and say that's not true. I transitioned 32 years ago. I did not see Black trans women around. Okay. And if I did see them, they were sort of trying to just get their shit together so that they could survive and make money. And most of them were doing things that, they had to do to survive. So they weren't having it's on some level a privilege to be an activist, because you have a lot of time to devote to that community. And they didn't have the time to devote. They just had time to worry about staying alive. So their messages that they continue to give are all over the place, and none of them are straight, honest, factual. And I wonder why they need to lie about it. That's always been my question. Why do you need to lie about our history? Marissa, thank you, friend. I'm 29 and a lesbian, and I live in Hollywood. I've always wanted to organize a counter protest to these wingnuts here. Are you going? Yes, we should do that, Marissa. You should send me an email. It's on the thing. And then I'd be, as you all know, I really went and protested ACLU when they were over here in WeHo, where they have the Plumber Park, and they had the ACLU tent little thing with 3 people at it. And I went over there and completely, thanks, Cool Cat. Thank you, friend. So I'm all about that. Yeah, Marsha P. Johnson, not true. Not true. Not true. That's right. Was a drag queen. That's right. Pimping. Exactly. That's my point. They also were surviving. So they were doing, a lot of them were doing sex work. Not that that's not a bad thing, and I don't want to shame that at all, but that's not true. The ACLU is liars. They all make it up for some reason to keep this idea of victimization. They want to keep you victimized when you're trans still. They want you to feel like a victim. They want you to feel like you're a marginalized community. Well, you might be marginalized, but that's just because there's not a lot of us. So that's a marginalization is when you're not the dominant space, and the dominant place in the world is heterosexual people. Damn. That's it. That's it. Not trans people. They'll always be marginalized. At the rate we're going now, I'm kind of worried if they won't be marginalized, and every kid and their brother and sister and mother will all become trans, and then the whole world will become trans, and then we're in for a big bunch of shit after that. So it's so bizarre to me that my age has become this sort of very negative space for these people, and the continuous attacks and the continuous hate and nastiness. But one of the things that I really had to sit with myself, because I used to get very angry about it, and I really needed to learn how to control that anger, because Stoicism, okay, I was pronouncing it wrong last time. Stoicism, okay, is something I learned to start to learn about. And I listen to it every day, and I listen to something stoic every day. And it has actually changed my life. And if you're looking for something to ground you or to have a more powerful way to be towards the world and to not let all those talking nonsensical things get into your brain, Stoicism is one of the most powerful things I have learned in my life. And how people always ask me, Buck, how do you navigate all this hate? Stoicism. It's actually real. I have learned to disconnect from other people's baggage and other people's insanity, because what their insanity is not my insanity. And so learning how to sort of disconnect from other people's, so when you start to learn that people write mean things to you because it's about them, it's not about you. I sort of learned this. Okay, the video I was talking about was reacting to insane TikToks. Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. With Blair, I love Blair. She's really one of my great friends. I love her. Right. So if I really had to learn how to, because I would get so mad, you guys. I would get so mad. They would actually get under my skin. And then I started realizing, oh my God, I'm giving my power over to these crazy nutcases. And I'm reacting to them. And I'd be like, blah, 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 right back. Blah, 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 and I'm thinking, wow, I just spent an hour going blah, 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 like to these people that literally just got all an hour of my time when I could have been doing something so amazing. And see other people in this room. I swear, I'm not kidding. If you're looking for something, just to find a way that you can disconnect your brain and your own emotional, right? It's emotions. Once you understand emotions, you can really understand how you actually have to take responsibility for yourself. And I think this is one of the things that we're not teaching especially in the trans community. We are teaching trans young people how to be victims. We're not teaching them to take control of their life. I took control of my life with my transition. I think you can all see that. I took full control of my life. I chose to do it as an adult. I chose to take the good with the bad. I chose to realize there were some things I can and cannot do. I chose to become this person. I chose to do everything I have done within my transitional space. I 100% stand by it, whether you agree with it, whether you not agree. I'm not doing it for you. But I think what I see today is a lot of these young people are transitioning for you, to get the validation from you. So when you don't agree with their transition, it makes them spin out, because they're being taught by a community of people that everyone else has to validate them but themselves. And within Stoicism, I learned it's about me. I don't need to get mad. And if I'm getting mad because I'm letting you make me mad. So, not to say that it's easy to control sometimes. Sometimes you just have to walk away from it, maybe take a walk, maybe go do something else, maybe just watch a movie and blank your brain out, whatever it is. But the point I'm trying to make here is taking the responsibility for those people attacking me and realizing one of the most powerful things I did, and I'm going to say here publicly today, I'm not sure if I've said it before, but one of the most powerful things that I have done in this whole new trans space was to remove myself from the trans community. Remove it. I removed myself. I actually publicly renounced my connection to the trans community. I do not belong to that community. I will not support that community. I will not do activism for that community. I don't want to be associated with them. I am not in the trans community. I am a transsexual individual who lives my life this way with the rest of the world. I want to be in the world, people. I don't want to be connected to a community of wingnuts and crazy people. I don't. It's like any, let's say you were just like not like, I don't even know what example, maybe as a religion that you were in at once and you felt like that religion was going off the deep end. And then now you just don't feel comfortable with it. So you walk out of that. You don't go back anymore. Why do you have to now? Because you once were in it. Why do you always have to be in it? I guess is my question, right? Why can't you just walk away from it? Yeah, there is no individuality anymore. They're not teaching this to the young generation. Hi, the Fitz. Thank you, friend. I always advocate for embracing Stoicism among younger trans men because testosterone doesn't invent aggression, but exaggerates pre-existing patterns of aggression and it aids in emotional. That's right. Let me tell you something, the Fitz, and thank you for that. It's very, very great response. I'm going to tell you something. Prior to taking the testosterone, I was angry. I was an angry young woman. I was a fighter. I was always getting into fist fights or drinking. Probably the drinking aggravated it. But that being said, I always felt angry. I felt angry at the world. I felt angry at you. I felt angry at myself. I felt disconnected. But once I started to transition and I started to put the testosterone in my body, I actually felt level. I actually felt like this is what I needed. It felt like it took me from an angry, disassociated space to a calm, I'm way less aggressive now on the testosterone, which is, I think, really interesting because people would actually think that I'm more aggressive on the testosterone. I am. Hey, thank you, friend. Yeah, a great channel is, yes, that's a great channel. That's a great channel. I'm less aggressive, people. So the testosterone hasn't made me more aggressive. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to see me angry. I can lose my mind, but it's actually made me less aggressive. So, yes, testosterone does, I think, create aggression in people. But I also think it's a full circle of stuff that you have to work on. And that's why you can't just give these young trans men testosterone and just push them out. You got to also give them mental evaluations. You got to have like a space where they can talk to somebody about what's going on, because the minute you start putting testosterone in your body, things change. And this is the one thing people don't seem. Oh, I have good. Anybody have good books for? I do. If I have my Stoicism book right here, there was. Oh, this. I think this is one of them. This was sent to me by him. Discipline is destiny. This he sent me it. He's a great Ryan Holiday. It's the power of self control. This is a great book. Yeah, he sent it to me. He's great too. I was just saying that if we're just giving these young trans men, okay, who are females, and we're giving them testosterone without giving them any understanding of what the long-term effects are, you're doing a disservice to these young people, because I didn't get the opportunity to do that. I had to find my way through it. But like I said, it felt like it calmed me. But I feel like today it's not calming these kids. And I think they're also being riled up by all this other nonsense, right? All this other stuff that says you're marginalized, you're a victim, nobody wants you to have rights. If nobody wanted trans people to have rights, how did I last 32 years, people? How? How did I last? Without any of the stuff that's happening today, how did I make it 32 years of transition time if nobody wants us to be here? That's how I can show you that it's a total lie. People want you to transition if you're going to do it in a way that's positive. Everyone wants us to be able to transition as long as we're doing it in a positive way. The reason why people don't want to see people transitioning is because you're all coming out the gate angry and freaked out and acting like total nutcases. So who would want anyone to have that opportunity? When you show only aggression and you show only like meanness and nastiness and misogyny and hatefulness and calling everybody TERFs and cis, why would anyone support you? Why? I won't. I'm not supporting that. And I'm a trans person, but I'm not going to support that. I literally understand why the rest of the world is like, you trans people are nuts. We're not going to help you do this. You know, you have an obligation as a trans person to fit in the world. It's an obligation when you transition to be a good person. It is really something that helps the trans space move forward, is to give something good back, not to give bad stuff. It's so ridiculous to me that you all don't see that. But at the same time, I think a lot of these young people are being conditioned to do this. They're being conditioned to be angry. They're being conditioned to be mean. They're being conditioned to feel like a victim. They're being conditioned to not give back positively. They think you owe them. They think you are the problem. They think you don't accept them. They think you are transphobic. They think you are TERFs. They think you are all of these things that you're not. You're just clearly not. I can prove it here today. I mean, I don't even know. I have a couple hundred people in this room today watching. I will almost guarantee you Maybe there's one or two person who could be transphobic, whatever that means. But I would tell you that the majority, if not 99% of you, are not transphobic. Okay. You might have an opinion about transitioning, doesn't make you transphobic. You don't fear trans people or you wouldn't be here. Okay. But what you do get, what to me, what you deserve is you deserve to see trans people respect you. That's what you deserve as a person who's not trans. Okay. You deserve respect from me as I deserve respect from you. But you can't, as a trans person, even as a person who's not trans, you can't just attack a trans person because you feel this certain way. That's also not okay, right? That's right, in order for me and you to exist in this world, because I'm not going anywhere, just so you know, I'm never going anywhere. No transsexual people who really need to exist, we're not going anywhere. We're still going to be here. So how do you and I coexist in the world together? Well, I've been doing it for 32 years. I don't ask you for anything. I don't ask you for anything. I take care of myself. I do the things I need to do. I walk the world. I don't attack you. Okay. That's how you do it. But that's not what's happening. What's happening now is a complete opposite of what I have been taught to do, which is to take responsibility for myself, to learn upside down, to learn. Okay. To learn how to take responsibility for my own actions and not say, okay, well, now I'm going to transition. You owe me everything, right? Hey, Jim's girl, nice to see you. I only fear trans women with beards. But then there's that. Then there's that. Let me tell you, the history of trans women is not that. The history of trans women is not bearded trans women. That is a complete bullshit space. Those people are not trans. They're the ones who are causing the problems. Hey, Buck, you came up on New Black Street the other night. Lumi and I were singing your praises. Oh, sweet. Thank you, friend. I appreciate that a lot, man. See, building bridges, people, building places you would think that they would not want to hang out with trans people. I get asked to go on so many shows that are not. That's what I wanted to say. Let me grab this, and I wanted to say something about the conservatives. Okay. Hey, Larissa. Thank you, friend. Estrogen and Lupron has made me have more emotional. Yeah, emotional. Yes. But thanks to my therapist, support, and everyone around me, it has helped me keep level-headed alongside. That's because it's hormones, Larissa. That's the thing that I'm trying to get across here. Hormones are not candy. Okay. They are literally what we as humans are made up of. We're hormones. That's what humans are hormones. So as a female, when I start putting testosterone, which is not native of course, we all have testosterone and estrogen. That's a fact. But men have a higher rate of testosterone and a lower of estrogen, and opposite for women. But I'm a biological female. So when I start shoving testosterone at a high rate into my actual physical body, it is going to do things that are not natural. Okay. You're messing with Mother Nature. I messed with Mother Nature. Let's just be honest here. I messed with Mother Nature. I'm a biological female, but my brain, and it's why I just can't even believe people don't understand this. My brain says otherwise. My brain says, oh, I feel much happier looking like this. And when you all call me sir or he or Buck, or I get to walk the world as a man, like I'm just a happier person. That's a disorder. That's not normal. There's nothing normal about that. Let's just be honest here. There's nothing normal about me wanting to be a man. It is definitely something that's not fun until you get over that hump. It is not something we should just be like saying, oh, anyone can do this, because it's not that. It is a rough road to get to where you're finally gliding through life, and it still takes work. It's why a 10-year-old could never do this. And I don't understand why they have a problem with calling it a disorder. I am 100% connected to the fact that this is not normal. Okay. So why is that a bad thing? Why is it a bad thing for me to accept the fact that I'm not normal? There's nothing wrong with not being normal. There's nothing wrong with having something like this. It can clearly be fixed on some level. And the honesty of me being honest with you is so powerful. You have no idea. It's just so powerful for me to say, I'm a biological female who wants to live in a male space, and then we move forward, and no one's lying. Everyone sees that I'm paying my taxes, doing work, doing these things, having a kid and a wife, and all the things that I would love to have in my life, and I have it all. But I don't understand why people want to lie about it. That's where I'm just really disturbed by the trans community, right? Bottom line, you have to give her, yeah, that's right. That's right. It's real simple. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out, right? So Marissa says, Buck, do you think sobriety has changed how you view 100%. Without sobriety, I wouldn't be here. I'll be honest with you all. Without sobriety, I would not be here. I would be done. I'm writing my book right now. I think I've spoken to you about that now a couple of times, but I'm in the middle of writing my book right now. And, a lot of things are coming up for me that are very emotional and difficult for me to sort of deal with, because I really feel like I went to therapy and dealt with all this stuff a long time ago and just moved on from it. Because, I also think people tend to just live in their trauma, and I'm not going to let it take my life, right? Are you going to do an episode about the pool tournament? No, I'm not sure what that is. What's the pool tournament? Oh, pool table. Yeah, I am. But I want to let you know that, it took a lot for me to get to this space. The number one thing that took was sobriety, and to realize that I had to stop drinking or I was going to be dead. And I'm not sure if I ever told you this story. I can just sort of do it in a nutshell if you want me to tell you sort of the reason and how I got sober. And it's a really great story. I'm going to write it more in depth in the book, but if you want, I can tell you a little bit about that. And what was the catalyst for my sobriety is pretty insane. And I'm telling you, I would not be here today if this did not happen to me. Hey, Practical Medium, I'll bring you back on too, friend. Hi, Buck. I have a huge issue with people victimizing disorders. It's not a joke. That's right. Trans or not. Of course, everyone has to work on their issues and not victimize themselves. As someone with narcolepsy, wow, really? Wow. And depressions. Yes, that's right. But I know you, my friend, and you did take control of yourself, and you're a really awesome human being. And thank you for that. So I'll tell you a little bit about this story real quick here. Okay. And then we can. So when I was living on the streets, I think you all know that, I was totally homeless, and I had come back from Europe where I was modeling as a woman, right? And it didn't work out for me because all I was doing was drinking and doing drugs in England. Because in England, you drink a lot. Hey, Vicky, how's it going? The new trans ideology is built around activist speak, fake oppression. Yes, 100%. How insulting to the yeah, it's gross. That's why I left the community. I just left it. I don't want to be around it. It's disgusting. So I'm in London. I'm modeling as, I was a female model, and I'm doing all these things that I don't want to do. And I'm doing it for everyone else, right? I'm just trying to be this person. And everybody was just obsessed with me being a model. So they bring me to London, and, I'm very androgynous. I don't know. You can just probably Google pictures of me. I was very androgynous as when I lived as a female, and I had bleached blonde hair. Just people would always say I look like either Annie Lennox or like what was Sylvester Stallone's ex-wife. Like I just looked like very much like that, right? So I was just this androgynous girl trying to do modeling, and I couldn't do it. I hated it. They would put makeup on my face, and I was just tormented by it. So the only thing that would keep me moving in that space was alcohol. Alcohol was ever present around that, right? Hey, Ryan, thank you. I've been on the trans med train since I came out 10 years ago. At 14, before I could even transition, I watched the community destroy itself in the image of wow. So now you're 24? You can't wait. Before I could eat, when it came out 10 years ago. So you came out, but did you start medically transitioning? Wow, that's actually, wow. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, Ryan. Thank you. Wow. I always just trip out on that. So Bridget Nielsen. So there I am. Anyway, it's alcohol city, drinking. I'm just a mess. I'm a mess, you guys, in London. I'm an actual mess. Drinking. I was fighting. I was actually, here I am, a chick, punching out dudes at bars. Like, just, You can imagine it all. My book is going to be hilarious. By the way, my book is going to be funny. It's not going to be sad. I'm making a funny book. But anyway, it's a very toxic environment modeling. So there I am drinking and like it's so crazy. And anyway, long story short, I'm not showing up for any of the casting calls because I just hated it. I hated going. I didn't like it. There I was. I just barfy. This is like early 80s, right? And I was old for a model, but I always look so young. So anyway, eventually the agency said to me, dude, if you don't start showing up for the casting calls, we're sending you back home. So, okay, I didn't show up anymore. And guess what? They sent me back to LA. So they sent me back to LA, but guess what? I have no job. I have no money. I basically had no friends. I kind of was couch surfing a little because the friends I had were letting me, but that gets kind of old. It gets really, really old after a while having your friend sleep on your couch. Thank you, Pepper. You know what I mean? So long story short, eventually I have no more couches to sleep on. Eventually I have nowhere to go. Eventually I end up on the street. And eventually I end up doing things with men on the street for $20 because that $20 can buy you rocks of crack. So I started really deep diving into the drugs and alcohol as I hit the street. And that's where really my life made a massive turnaround and a massive depression. I mean, I was living in a park with nothing really, just wandering, getting drugs, doing activities with men to make a buck because you could do that very easily and you could be in and out in 2 seconds and cars would just pick you up on the street. And, I looked like a young 16-year-old boy and I knew that that's what they were looking for. So I kind of played the part. It's just insane that I did all that and survived it. So really what I'm trying to get to here is eventually one time this man picked me up and I went home with him and I should have never gone home with him. But when you're homeless and on drugs and drinking and you don't have anything, you just do things that you would never do in your right mind. And I went home with this man and I'm not going to get too much into the details because it's pretty insane. But when I went to his place, I knew that I was going to be offed. I knew it. I just felt it. Like the minute we got near his apartment and he was opening the door and he made me go first, I just felt like something's not right. And I just felt like I was going to get killed. And then everything happened there and somehow I got out of it. I don't know how, but somehow I got out of it. And I told that man to take me and to drop me back off where he picked me up. It was so weird that, thanks, Jim's girl, he did. He actually took me back to the street and dropped me off. To this day, every time I tell the story, clearly I'm not telling you the whole depth of it because I can't here, but also it'll be in my book. But the fact that dude took me back to the street and dropped me off is phenomenal. I can't even believe it. I mean, I really felt in my, when you just know something bad is going to happen. I knew something bad was going to happen. I knew it. I just can't believe to this day that it didn't happen. I was going to be chopped up in little pieces. I just know it. And that was when I got sober. That was really the catalyst for it. So I think what I'm trying to say here, because you asked about my sobriety, was that was the catalyst for my sobriety. I had to hit deep, deep, deep bottom. Coming back from London, having nothing, ending homelessness, getting crack cocaine, just doing things for money, just nothing, and spiraling out, spiraling, till it ended up. He brought me back. I went to 7-Eleven. I'll never forget. It was like my last meal. I went to 7-Eleven and I got one of those gross hot dogs and I got like a big gulp. And I just remember eating the hot dog and drinking the big gulp and not having any direction in my life. And then somehow I ended up in the gutter, the actual real physical gutter. I ended up laying in the gutter. And the only reason I woke up was because the police were shining a light on me. And then they said, hey, buddy, what's up, buddy? Like, get up. What's the matter with you? We're going to arrest you, or all kinds of stuff was happening. And then if you don't get up, we're going to take you in, is what they said to me. And I remember, like, I got up and I just started walking, and I just started walking. I was very much like you once. I would love to have yeah, it's horrible. It's really, a lot of people say that to me. You know that, Pepper? A lot of people say. So anyway, I got up. I remember going to it. Remember telephone booths, actual telephone booth. And I think I called a collect call to the only number I remember was my ex-girlfriend. And that was the beginning of my sobriety. And I had to hit such a bottom to be able to get to back to where I am today. And I want to let you all know that is why I believe, on some level, I don't fear the trans activists. I don't fear the hate I get. I actually bring it on. Bring it on, because I have been there. I have been to hell and back. Seriously, I have been to hell and back. And there's nobody going to take me there again. I'm never going back. I refuse to go back. I refuse to have anyone tell me how to act, how to be, how to walk, how to talk. I will not lie. I will not steal. I will not cheat. I already did it, and it doesn't amount to anything but bad, bad, bad. And I don't need to do that. So if a community of people who once I felt attached to is going to put these restrictions on me, I'm not a part of that. And it's why I think I have been able to have a sort of thick skin against the hate and the nastiness, is because I've been really to that place that they've never been. And you can't mess with somebody who's been to hell. You can't, because if you haven't been there and you haven't seen it and you survived it and you came out of it, you feel very powerful and you feel like nothing can stop you. In Newton 26, thank you, friend. As a 42-year-old woman dealing with PTSD from child sexual abuse, yes, I'm sorry, friend. I am glad I didn't grow up now. Yes, I would have been put on the trans path as I was ashamed of my body. It's 100% right. And a lot of you say that. A lot of, mostly more women than men, tell me that. And it's totally true. These young people who are being led down this path are exactly that. Thank you, friend. Thank you. And so that's why I just want you to know, sobriety was the first step in me becoming this person and finding myself and realizing that I don't have to steal and I don't have to lie and I don't have to cheat. I have to take care of myself. Okay. And it's not about you taking care of me. It's about me taking care of me. And on some level, I've always, thank you, Amy, for being a member. I appreciate that. You know, and on some level, I have always taken care of myself. You know, however that translates in that last story I told you right now, it translates, and I've always taken care of myself. Even on the street, I didn't ask for a handout. I didn't sit on the corner asking for quarters. I actually got a job. So there's always been this sort of thing inside of me that said, I don't want to have people take care of me. I want to take care of myself. So even in homelessness, on some level, I take care of myself. So that's what I also want to let you know. I don't want my book to be sad and depressing. And even though these stories can be sad and depressing, I want to find the light in these stories. And I want to find the sort of humor in it all. Because, you know, when you're reading a book and you're just reading it and it just feels depressing 24/7, it gets heavy and it gets like, I want you to finish the book I'm writing and come out of it going, whoa, that was so crazy. I want to read it again, or give it to your friend to read, because it is crazy. It is actually crazy that I sit here today saying stories that I never thought I would ever have the opportunity to tell the world. And so again, it is why I want my book to come off not as a trans book, not as an LGBTQIA poo-poo book, but as a book of sort of survival and substance and messages and things that can empower you to not feel victimized or lesser than, or I don't have, or I can't have. That's not true. If I made it, every single person out there can make it. There's just no way. But if you're constantly being told that you're bad, or trans is marginalized, or because you're trans, you're never going to be, you're just never going to be anything. You're just never going to be anything. And it's just so upsetting for me to see a generation of people in the trans community being told these messages that are not true. And instead of empowering these young people, all they're doing is giving them signs, right? And saying, I'm going to be making a mailing list actually really soon so you guys can all sign up for it, right? So instead of telling these kids great positive messages, they're giving them these crazy signs to sort of push an agenda, but not for themselves. Not for themselves. So let's move forward here. Let me just drink the rest of this coffee. I want to bring, and as I'm saying this, the reason I was kind of, what do you call it? Setting the stage, right? I was setting the stage for these next two things I want to show you. I won't show you the whole thing. But as I get these hate messages, I find them kind of funny to me. And so what I saw were there's these new things called chat music. I don't know. Have you seen the chat music videos? They're so funny. They're basically comments that people make that are either really insane or hateful or funny. And then they put it with the chat to music and they make a song out of it. It's actually hilarious. So I decided I'm going to do this. So I'll bring up the one right now. This one. Hold on here. This is so funny, you guys. I think you're going to so what I did. So hold on. So what I did is I took all the Vicky, I took all the nasty hate comments. I mean, I get so many, you guys. It's awesome. Actually, I'm getting less, which I think is kind of interesting. So what I did is I started taking these hate comments and I make them into little music videos. So, so I'm going to share a couple of these with you right now. So okay, here we go.
Retire and stop talking against the community ASAP. Chorus, I'm sick of fans in this thread. Just because you were a trailblazer once doesn't mean you're not problematic now. You are. Reply to Alice's comment. He sold out to conservatives. His views and opinions have completely shifted, and he's been throwing people under the bus from his own community.
It's so great. The words.
He thinks it's going to keep him.
Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, X, and okay, you guys. I mean, come on, really? How could I not? How could I not? It's actually so great. So there's one. Wait, I'm just gonna do this other one real quick because it's pretty funny. It's so funny. Hey, Maria, thank you, friend. Thank you again for changing our lives. My son is finally getting the blocker on the 17th. Awesome. I wish you luck on that, my friend. If you need anything, reach out to me. I tell your son I hope that he has a great journey. Okay. So. So you're not actual haters. No, they're actual haters. They're the comments. Okay, listen.
It's the pecky trans man that's so insecure that he hates on other trans people to make himself feel better and get cis people to like him. Sip, baby! Don't you have a dysphoria therapy session to be attending right now? Oh wait! I forgot you don't have dysphoria because you're a pathetic desexless broad! Come at me with your recycled retorts, you tiny little washed up insecure boy!
Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, X, and YouTube. Thank you. You know, they hate me. They actually hate me. When I did it, they blocked me. So anyone's that, yeah, my friend, reach out to me and I'll get you back on the show. Thank you. Yeah. So they hate me because I took total and free. So now I encourage the hate comments. Go ahead, send it to me. I'll just make them. So I'm making an album and I'm calling it Diversity and Inclusion. And I'm going to make like 10 songs and I'm going to put an album together and put it for $1 on Spotify. And that's how you can support me. For $1, you can buy the whole album. It's so good. I'm having so much fun. So I think what I'm trying to, again, get back to is Stoicism, friends. Don't let these people bring you down. They're not even, don't need the power. You cannot give them that power. But what you can do is take their stuff and actually totally make it work for you, right? Hey, VJ95, thank you. I can learn a lot more from you. I don't have the level of strength and spine that you have. Yeah, you do. But I need to stand up with you. My own mind takes me down. I disbelieve myself and I don't know how to be properly resilient. Start with this, okay? Start with this. And secondly, go to YouTube and put in Stoicism. And there's a million things that are going to come up for you. I don't care what you listen to. Listen to anyone. Start with 5 minutes. Just start with 5 minutes. And I'm not kidding. You have to rewire your brain. You know that? That's really what it's about, rewiring your brain. And once you start to rewire your brain and realize that it's all about you, that's what Stoicism, okay? It literally teaches you I'm responsible for me being mad. I'm responsible for letting them say those things to me. I'm responsible. Once you realize I'm responsible for my addiction to coffee, not you, not the coffee company, not it's my addiction. I'm addicted to coffee, by the way. So that being said, it's my addiction. And when I'm ready to give up my addiction, I'll do it, or else I won't. And I'll just bitch about it all the time. Oh, I can't sleep. I have insomnia. Well, dude, maybe stop drinking so much coffee. And then there I am the next day drinking 5 cups of coffee because I like to complain about it. Right. But I know I'm not stupid, and neither are you, dude. You're not stupid. You're not stupid. You know exactly what you're doing, but you just don't have the tools to figure it out. So once you got to start little steps, baby steps. Okay, baby steps, 5 minutes, Stoicism on YouTube. Listen to anyone on the bike or whatever you're doing that you have 5 minutes before you go to bed. You'll be solid. You'll be solid in a while. Not sure how long that'll take. I'm not kidding. Actually, I create my own coffee. Okay, we get many names. We can call that coffee. So I have a couple more funny things I want to bring up here. Well, they're funny, but they're not. They're just actually, I think really what I was trying to show you was the victimization with these people is just so pathetic. So this kid, he's always on the internet talking about woe is me. Listen to this.
So I'm the trans man that was fired from his job in Des Moines, and it was blatant discrimination. And I just got done unpacking my box of things that the company shipped back to me.
Oh, well.
Poorly. And as I'm unpacking this, I'm furious. I'm getting so angry as I think about how could someone possibly want to upend a trans person's life right now? Not to mention, I'm a trans person with a lot of health complications. I'm a disabled veteran. I am having top surgery in 2 months. All of my passive income is completely gone, and that was what I was putting towards my top surgery.
Oh, well, buddy, guess what? Now you're going to have to get a new job, and now you're going to have to deal with how to find that again. Oh, how is that our problem? And how is that anyone else's problem? And why are you putting your problems is what I'm trying to show you all. Why are people trying to put their own problems on you? Oh, woe is me, I got fired. Why'd you get fired from the job? You did not get fired because you're trans. You did not. I refuse. Oh, thanks, Roxanne. Thank you, friend. You did not get fired because you're trans. I refuse to believe it. I refuse. But he's making it seem as if he got fired because he's trans. Bull, no way. And now he's a disabled vet, okay, who's getting top surgery, priorities, okay, but you're a vet, and you're disabled, you must be able to go to the VA. And I mean, there's so many things that can punch holes. He just goes on and on.
And my cost of living. So as I think about the things that were ignored and the complaints that I was made about the constant misgendering and the...
Okay, well, there you go. That's it. Bam. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? This person was making complaints constantly to HR about being misgendered. Okay, there you go. That's why you got fired, because all you were doing was bitching about being misgendered. Okay, instead of just like, who cares? Who cares? Is it actually that important for you to be telling everyone that you're getting misgendered at work, and now you're going to be that dude or person who's poking everybody, and you don't think you're going to get fired? Of course you are. That's right. Who wants that in a company? I would never hire somebody like that, by the way, just so you know. Nope. I don't care about your personal life. I don't care about your pronouns. If you get misgendered, deal with it, buddy. Who cares? A lot of regular men and women get misgendered all the time. I know women who are very masculine who get misgendered. They don't make a big deal out of it. So come on, this dude isn't taking responsibility for the reason why he got fired, because you were that thorn in the side of the company that they didn't want. They saw a lawsuit coming. They're not stupid. They fired you because they saw a lawsuit coming. So now you got to deal with it, dude. Oh my God. These people are so crazy, you guys. I'm just so shocked. I'm so shocked that they don't even realize what they're doing to themselves. So one last thing before we go here. Okay. And I'm telling you, I'm not part of that stuff. I'm so sick of these people. Woe is me. I got fired because I'm trans. No, you didn't. You got fired because you're dumb. Okay. And you kept telling everybody, I'm being misgendered. Who's going to hire you now? Good luck getting a good resume on that one. It's why, nope, I'm not hiring anybody non-binary, because next thing you know, they're going to sue me because I misused their appropriate pronoun nonsense. It's so ridiculous. I mean, whatever, dude. That's your own problem. Deal with it. Like, wow, how would he have lived 20 years ago as a trans person? That's right. Jim's girl said it right there. This is exactly why they won't hire trans people. And then you put it all over the internet. You're so dumb. That's like actually dumb. I just can't even believe it, you guys. This is why I love being old. Okay, so I want to just bring this one up because I found this one to be, here, I'll get Pepper and then I'll do this. I've been misgendered at work. I don't present as the opposite sex. Okay, I chalked it up to being an elderly person. I was wearing a base. That's right. Good for you, Pepper. Good for you. Don't make it anybody else's problem. Who cares? Also, you know, I remember back in the day when you would get misgendered, because I got misgendered, whatever that means, right? I would just play it off. I would literally play it off. Who cares? Like, you don't make a big deal out of it, because when you make a big deal out of it, you draw attention to yourself. So if you make less of a big deal about it, okay, let's say someone called me she. Let's just say they wouldn't, but let's just say, right? You just let it go. It literally flies off your shoulder and you just pretend like you didn't hear it and you keep having the conversation about something else. That's how you do it. You just let it roll off your back and no one cares and no one remembers, and who cares, right? It's really exactly how old school transsexual people have always done it. To this day, it's how you're supposed to do it. I found this to be quite interesting, and I just want you to listen to this.
Hey, I'm Tess, trans female living in Oklahoma City.
So trans female, okay? Now, I don't know if you can see this trans female, right? That's right. Laugh about it. But there's piercings all over this person's face, okay? So many body piercings here, in their mouth, in the hair. I don't know. Can you see it? Just like piercings galore. So right there on top of that, it's going to bring attention to your face. Okay. Secondly, you don't pass. You look and sound like a man to me, which whatever. I don't care. It's not easy to pass sometimes. And I totally get it. You're out living your life. Okay. So I just want to put that there first. You can be a trans femme, whatever that means to you. Okay. So this is the kind of people we're dealing with now. And they expect you to call them she.
I'm also a retired police sergeant. I am a Marine Corps veteran. I'm a skilled trade contractor.
Yeah, Roxanne. Generally don't understand how yes, they make it all about themselves. That's right. They make the whole world because it gives them attention.
Oklahoma.
That's
and I'm
right.
also president of Oklahoma City Pride.
So,
and I just want to let you know, if anyone can use this, you know, I've been to rallies from Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Dallas, all the way to Washington, D.C. And I never walked away feeling like I ever made a huge difference. But with some of the inside people I know, especially in the Oklahoma State Capitol, I've come to realize that there are some good Republicans out there.
Bam.
You know, there's MAGA Republicans, there's Republicans, and then there's good Republicans.
So I'm starting to have a little respect for this person because they realize that you have to start building bridges. I'm a bridge builder. You all know that. But listen.
I don't want to alienate the good Republicans because during the legislative process, they help us out more than we'll ever know. And they help us get a lot of bills killed every year. As a staunch Democrat, the whole concept was really weird for me at first, but I have to tell you, it has done a lot of good, and I've actually seen results of this.
There you go.
So if you can use it, you know, give it a try. But, you know, going to rallies and yelling and screaming my head off and getting mad, I'm still going to do that.
Why?
But I am also going to concentrate on those good Republicans and try to meet with them and let them see the human side. Okay,
so this is why I want you to hear this. This is really important, okay? This person says there's good Republicans, whatever that means, okay? I don't know what that means, good Republicans. There's MAGA, whatever. What is the difference? They're Republicans. Okay, everyone's different in parties, okay? So this person is a staunch Democrat. What they're saying is that they realize in order for us to move forward, which I keep telling everybody, you've got to work together, the Democrats and the Republicans. I don't care what you are. Together, we work and find a solution. Nobody wants solutions anymore. They want it all one-sided. And I believe far right and far left are very similar in that respect. And there's people like us who really do want to find solutions. But what this person is not saying, okay, which I find to be interesting, is that they're not also saying that about the transgender community. There are good trans people and there are bad trans people. And the bad trans people are the ones creating the problems. And if we as a transgender community would start to out the bad transgender people and actually know the difference between good and bad, like you said with Republicans, then we can actually start to build bridges with the rest of the world. That's always been my point here. Okay, I don't represent trans. I'm not part of the community. I am a transsexual. But if people like this person who are a community person and want to talk about that and understand that, then you've got to out your own community too. You've got to find it takes fixing the house from the inside, people. You can't just go and repaint your house. Or you can't just go and repaint your car. You've got to go to the engine and figure out what's going on in that engine and fix the engine and go from the inside out, okay? Why are you painting your house and putting upholstery you're painting your car and putting upholstery and new tires when the engine doesn't work? It doesn't make any sense to me. That's literally how I look at the trans community. They're not fixing the engine. They're painting it and trying to make it look all pretty, and it's just going to break down because you're not fixing the actual problem. It takes the actual trans people who have integrity and morals, ethics, respect, to literally pull out the bad seeds from that community. And until they're willing to call their own people out, forget it. And that's with any community. I don't care what it is, okay? Whatever community you're with, if you're in a Christian, there are bad Christians, there are bad Jews, there are probably bad Buddhists, there are bad Black people, there are bad Asian people. And if those are the people representing your community, you got to point them out and you got to pluck them out, because you're never, ever going to fix the problem. And I'm going to say to the trans people who are listening to this right now, you got to point out the bad people in the community. There are many bad players there. There are bad people who are doing bad things to children, to women, to trans rights, and throwing your community back, okay? I'm done with you guys. I'm not helping you anymore, okay? I'm helping me. I'm helping me. I put my own life jacket on. See you later. I already jumped on the ship. It's not worth my time. You're not worth my time and energy. What's worth my time and energy is integrity, respect for the world, respect for children, respect for women, and finding a space that transsexual people can coexist in this world. That's my mission, okay? I jumped that ship a long time ago, okay? So I suggest to you transgender people out there who are really hearing what I'm saying, put your life jacket on and jump ship, because it's going to go down hard, because you have bad people like Jeffrey Marsh, Dylan Mulvaney, all of those people who don't care about you. They do not care. They will jump ship before you, just so you know. They will jump ship before you, and you'll be stuck with the shitty ship trying to fix the plug in the holes with nothing to plug the holes with. So with that, the tide's turning, friends. I love you guys a lot. Thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for helping me. Who cares if we get demonetized? It's actually a pain in the ass, but whatever. Who cares? It means we're all doing something right here. You know, I can't do it without you all. You really make this show great. Okay. No, ma'am. I'm done with you all. That's right. No, ma'am. Also, making fun of yourself sometimes is a good thing. You know that? Jeez, man. Just make fun of yourself. It's funny to laugh. So have a great rest of your day, you guys. I have a new video coming out tomorrow. Thanks for supporting the videos and all of that. And really, it's just everything. Really, you're in my heart. And go and have a great rest of your day. And then I'll see you guys on the next one.